Here I am, your rocket queen, one of GNR's good old tunes. I always thought that nothing could ever change my mind more than than a man named Axl Rose. I hope Slash doesn't mind me saying a few things about him. He actually, the lead old singer of Guns N' Roses, and of course he still is the lead singer of Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose, because I thought him and I have such close type of personalities. It seems still to me that if I ever get a chance, he'd be one guy that I'd like to meet, Axl Rose, and I'd have to look back in the write-ups of what his real name is because I'm pretty sure he uses that one as an alias somewhat. Forgive me, Axel, if that isn't true. I'll have to check the notes, like I said, but I really admire you as a singer, the original Guns N' Roses singer, and all of the singers that have sung with you. But I'm also mentioning about Slash's singers of his bands. I really like them all, and I like singers around the whole world. I love little children singers, and I love very old people singers. And so when I was telling you about my dad wanting to sing, he had such a nice singing voice. And he would sing by our kitchen table. He would sing songs, like gospel songs. I know that the rest of my family members, as children of his, remember him that way as well. He would sing songs as he had his Holy Bible open and all alone at the table. Very, very rare did I ever see my mother sitting with him. Now, she had other things, and that's when I think the two of them went off in the evening and did what they had to do on their own. I know that she was always cleaning something, and not to say that my dad didn't clean. He was always cleaning something too, in his own way of cleaning. Now that I look at myself as a cleaner and how I clean the world system up daily by giving advice to businesses, to companies, how they can improve, I'm constantly cleaning up the streets that way as well, letting people know it's against the law to litter. Please don't leave it there. Pick it up if you see it. I know I'm always tempted to clean the streets up this way. I could go over to the department of either downtown, wherever the head office is, or even in the local district offices. I never venture there, and I should. I'm tapping my own wrist as I say these things because I know I say them and don't do them. Just like when I got off the last video and went away for 5 or 15 minutes, I was thinking, I wonder if Saul will take my advice and make his own little small videos like this. Personable times with Saul Hudson, and even the Axl Rose famous man that I've been talking about, but all of Saul's singers, his current World on Fire, Miles Kennedy, is absolutely incredible voice and never has to memorize anything. Doesn't it look that way? Some of these singers, how they just automatically adapt to a song and they have it. But I'll bet you even Miles has to constantly look at these songs, and he could probably ad lib really easy. He's had a lot of experience as a singer, but is obviously very talented and very dedicated to Slash's bands with him. And so when it comes down to Axl Rose, though, I find that he's one of a kind. His vocal style had attracted me right from the start. I thought, oh my goodness, if I personally, Kathleen, ever has the guts to cover one of Guns N' Roses' original music songs, I will, and they'll probably take it off the air in my country at least and maybe show it around the world behind my back. I don't know how they do that the SME, is that what they're called? I could have way off. I'm not sure if that's who they are. The people who decide what and should not what be, what and should not be, what should be and what should not be. They're the people who have the authority to pull out your video if they want to, and they have a way of snatching it out of your hand if they want to. Lucky to have that much authority. And also they have the honors to say, yes, we'll program this, and we'll even do more by things that you're not aware of, because we like it so much. And same with God's Kingdom of Heaven in mind. I had once wrote to one of Axel's columns. It was by one of his colleagues, and if I could think of the name, I would say it. Maybe I shouldn't be so personable with these people's names, but really when it comes down to my points I'm making, it's just to say some of my favorite people around the world. Axl Rose's style of music, I've always liked it. And if I ever want to do one of his cover tunes, it's not that I'm so proud of how well I do it. I probably don't do it half as well as many singers do. And I'm saying half because I'm being honest. Half as well means 50% less good than the other guy. So I'm really not putting myself up when I say this. So in case you see me covering anybody's song, just know that I can't throw away the first one, and I won't throw away the last one either if I ever try again. I like everything. I feel that some of the things that I never took as a picture or a video but had thoughts in my mind, probably never wrote it down, and I just blurbed it out and gave it free to whomever could hear it, and especially me. I could hear it. I felt the good feeling of being that careless, I suppose, with especially who I am and what it means to me to now record everything I say if I'd be able to. But for example, like the Rocket Queen, like what an original song that is and what it means if you look at all the lyrics to your own special person. Any woman would love to be a rocket queen. And when it comes to my old, and I'm not sure if he'll ever sign again, I should look at my emails to see if today I got maybe a return email from him. He must be extremely busy because in the past, we discussed a few things. He said that he probably prefers me not to say that much about him, but I was so honored about him and by him as a member that I encourage him to come aboard again if he feels good about it, buying again. Even, Michael, you can pay that $60 at $5 a month. Find a way to get the money to me, because cash only is such a proper way to address my Kingdom of Heaven, where it feels good to get this payment. I know you paid, and I can give you an honorable receipt right away, even if I have to rip a piece of my daily journal notes. And hopefully I won't lose any of my own writing while doing it, but I'll find a way to give you a current receipt saying, yes, they did pay in cash, so that they have that one. And let's split it in half and write the same thing on my side so we each have a receipt. But I'm just honest enough not to rip any man off, not to hurt any man's feelings, not to jeopardize any man's account. Whereas I told Axl Rose and his colleague, as I mentioned in the past, I wanted to do business with him, and I thought if Slash would not pay attention to me in business, maybe Axl will. I thought there's got to be a reason why I'm so attracted to these guys. Maybe, and just maybe, in the past historical times, Slash and Axl were both the two other hanging men besides my cross of Jesus. That entered my mind long ago, and it stuck with me ever since. Very possible that that is why they are so closely related to me in God's Kingdom of Heaven. Equally, my brother Roger and David, close to me in knit family of children, they also could have been each one of a hanging man besides me, Jesus, and how I always seem to be in the middle of two men. Lucky. I know. Good thing I didn't get married and maybe never will. But for the fact that I'm making anything is possible with God, that's still one of my favorite biblical verses. And if I could memorize what actual verse it is in the books of the Bible, I will write that soon. I've written it down before and I can look it up again, because memorizing certain things is a little bit of a strong point for me, but how I record them later is even a stronger point, and how I explain about them later is even a stronger point now that I'm involved in heavy video taping. So exciting to meet Axl Rose as well. And I encourage all men to pay anything, but make sure you pay. Make sure you buy. Make sure you honor your name, your current name, as a repossessed man in God's kingdom of heaven. Give yourself, your life, that honor. You're worth the entitlement. I'm encouraging you not to pass up another restful night without signing first. Don't even go to bed. In the Bible it says, without forgiving your neighbor. Imagine how honoring God first before that comes in importance. Pay his throne. Pay your life through him as an entitled man alive to receive his kingdom of heaven and fortune to sign into. Very, very light charges that he is making you accountable for receiving this beautiful entity forever and ever. Your new pay scale is what I believe. Lock it in now with your signature in mind and keep it therefore forever. You see, the cat on that calendar looks so real. I think that I've never had too many pets in my life, but a couple of them have been cats, and those ones have died, and very soon after they became pets of mine that they died, and it was always a touching story the couple of times that it happened. But to get another pet, it is something that I have to be very committed to. And can I fit an animal in this place is another dilemma that I have to choose. Some people are so dedicated in how much they commit their lives to. One more thing you should not forget to commit your lives to is the ownership of God's kingdom of heaven. If I promise you in the name of Jesus, also known as Kathleen Forsovich, signing with him, that he's honored me to believe this and to keep signing and to tell the whole world the beautiful truth of his gospel, how he's promising all other men who believe in God this strongly that they can also receive the gift of his salvation by faith, and then also pay the light fee that he's charging to upgrade that salvation into ownership of his new kingdom of heaven in hell not, but on earth, in earth as it is in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven, that we should have that prayer, God's beautiful, beautiful prayer. Is it the shepherd? Is it the one about the shepherd? But I know we had a doxology when I grew up in elementary, that we all got together in the gymnasium in elementary school at Iron River, and we said this beautiful prayer out loud. We repeated it every day. If I can remember quite clearly how nice that was. It was a part of our curriculum, and it was a public school. So it wasn't it wasn't a Christian school, it wasn't a Catholic school, it was a public school, I believe. Iron River always was, and still probably is if they're dictating school there. But I could be wrong about some of these things. I just remember that as saying the Lord's Prayer and the doxology in school and at church. Goodbye for now.